Enzo Maresca's honeymoon period is actually over. Definitely over. Beginning of season, he had a couple of issues to, tackle. He had a couple of big decisions to make. Remember how he, wiped out most of the Chelsea players that he didn't want at that time, the senior players and stuff like that. But this time around, a team that was second on the table at some point in the Premier League, they were going strong, performing so well, amazingly well. But right now, it seems like Chelsea is now a shadow of the club they used to be. Seriously. Under Pochettino had 51% win rate. 51%. And that was tagged as the worst run of Chelsea. Right now, Enzo Maresca is even way below that. He is 50% win rate for Enzo Maresca right now. 50% win rate. And but the jewel in the palace is that Chelsea is still fourth on the table. But then, with the current form they are in and with the kind of football they are playing right now, definitely they will still go down the table. If maybe until some kind of approach happens or some kind of overnight performance happens with Chelsea. Look at the way they were wiped out in the cup games, both in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Under Pochettino went to the finals of these cups, losing out to Manchester City and Liverpool. But right now, Chelsea missed out against Brighton. You are missing out. In the Carabao Cup, you are not there. In fact, the only trophy or the only cup competition that Chelsea will need if anything goes wrong in the Premier League, they will need the Conference Cup to be able to make it to the Champions League. But then everybody expects Chelsea to win the Conference Cup because of what? The gap in quality and the quality of the rivals and the opposition that they have in the Conference Cup. So definitely it is Chelsea's to win. So what if some disaster happens? It tells you that his honeymoon period is actually over. Right now, he's facing external pressure, massive pressure from outside of the club, though there is this internal support and backup from the Chelsea board and stuff like that. But then, on the outside, it doesn't look good. So, except for some last-minute fire brigade approach, and it's going to be a total disaster if they don't arrest their season, simply because of the decisions they have made. People are going to laugh at them. Right now, their form hasn't been great. I think Chelsea has won only 2 games in the last 10 Premier League outings. 2 matches. Even at the time Chelsea had a run of fixtures that were supposed to be favorable to them, they were missing out on those fixtures. Right now, the fixtures doesn't look so great. Because if you lost out in the FA Cup against a team like Brighton, I think Chelsea is playing Brighton this weekend or so. So that is a chance for massive revenge from them. So except for some last-minute fire brigade approach, there's still a long way to go in the season. So they have enough time to arrest their season. If you look at that Brighton game, they didn't play so well. They didn't play so well. The footprint or the fingerprint of Enzo Maresca is not showing again. So what exactly happened? What is the change? We saw the poor decision they made with loaning out João Felix and a couple of other decisions they made in terms of releasing the top players. At a point, Thiago Silva was not supposed to leave the club. He has left. The Chelsea backline right now is so porous. In fact, if not for the brilliance of Cole Palmer, a lot would have been wrong with this Chelsea team, more than what you are witnessing right now. For a team that was tagged title challengers by some pundits. So how is it that they went from being great or being so good to being one of the worst thing or the nightmare right now, so to speak? But then they are still fourth on the table, so there's still a bright light, at the end of the whole thing. They're still fourth on the table. Under Pochettino, we didn't see it. They were further down the table. As much as he had the 51% win rate, they were still further down the table. But right now, Enzo Maresca is performing at 50% win rate. But then they are fourth on the table. So they will need to either, consolidate. Teams like Man City will be knocking at their door. Other teams as well will be knocking on their door. So it depends on Chelsea how they try to navigate this period. Otherwise, it's going to be a total disaster for Enzo Maresca. And at the end of the day, I won't be surprised if they end up sacking him.